Oh, that means I got. There we go. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the After Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you till I get tired. I don't. I don't know how else to say that. I'm with you until I get tired, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Come on in. Come on in if you feel like it. I was trying to check out Lincoln Ware and his broadcast, his live stream anyway. It ended early. I don't know if he went back on, but yeah, it ended early. So that was that. But come on in. Say good afternoon if you feel like it. I hope you feel like it. Because I like to Maria, good afternoon. Andrea or Andrea, not sure which. Good afternoon. Anthony, good afternoon. Good afternoon. We got to talk again, maybe a little bit about this gun thing. Yeah, no, I'll be watching Lincoln Ware because I still support Lincoln Ware. I still support the radio station. So I check out Lincoln Ware, and when he says ridiculous things, I still feel compelled to let the few people checking me out know that what he's saying is ridiculous. Scott from Disney. All right. Good afternoon. Gloria. Good afternoon. Who's this? Who's this? Anthony. Anthony says for you guys to like and share, which I kind of think goes without saying. Keisha. Good afternoon. Janice. Good afternoon. Now, Janice, you're not gonna give me a hard time today, are you? Janice always be giving me a hard time. She's becoming my nemesis. I don't know why she want to do that. Carolyn, good afternoon. Bonita, Anthony, good afternoon. Crystal, good afternoon. Tria, Ras, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that right. Carol, Sean, Mary, Nat, James, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I just want to address this teachers thing again because people keep bringing it up like it's an actual solution. It's not. It's not. I said it yesterday. I'll say it today. The idea that teachers should be armed is a bad idea. And it's compounded by the idea that only the teachers who want to be armed should be armed. Teachers that are itching to bring a gun to school are the very teachers you do not want bringing a gun to school. You don't want them bringing a gun to school. The teacher that secretly wanted to be a cop because he was bullied in high school, you don't want that dude bringing no gun to school. You don't want teachers armed. That is going to present its own set of problems. And you don't solve problems. Well, it's not always the best policy to solve problems by creating other problems. Not always the best policy. And come on, yes, we see teachers fight students. We see teachers abuse students. I'm not saying all teachers. I'm not even saying the majority of teachers. But I would argue that there's a good chance that some of the teachers that might want to carry guns, them the ones you see body slamming students and stuff like that. If they got a gun, they ain't got a body slamming. They can just fear for their life. And I know somebody thinking nobody wants to fear for their life. If it gives you the opportunity to do something that you wanted to do anyway, if I want to shoot you, I don't. But if I want to shoot you, then yeah, I want you to make a move so that I can say that I fear for my life, so that then I can shoot you and have an excuse. You don't want to be arming teachers. You don't want to do that. All right? Just if you don't believe me, do like I said yesterday. Just give me the benefit of the doubt on this one. Give me the benefit of the doubt on this one. So I don't believe that, Emanuel, but you be right so much. I give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. I think I've earned this one. I think I've earned this one. I was also looking at a story and I wanted to just talk about this for a second. There's a statistic out there. Y'all know how I feel about statistics. But there's a statistic out there that says Black kids age 11 and 12 drown 10 times more often in pools than white kids. Now, I don't know if it's 10 times, if it's 8 times, if it's 5 times. Teach your kids how to swim. Get them in some swimming classes or something. We Black people gotta kind of take that serious. Okay, I remember growing up, a young man or a boy, and me and Michael Martin used to go up. I lived in Clifton / Avondale. I know that's ain't no Clifton / Avondale. It's either Clifton or it's Avondale, but I lived on Vine Street, and like that's like the demarcation line. So one side of the street is Avondale, and the other side of the street is Clifton. And technically, I guess I lived in Clifton. I went to Clifton Elementary, but I feel like I lived in Avondale. Anyway, we used to go up to all the apartment buildings, all the apartment complexes up in Clifton and sneak into the pools. Inevitably, it was always some white woman would come out, see us in the pool, and say she was going to go tell management. And then management would come out and they would say, "Do you guys live here?" They knew we didn't. "Do you have a pass to get into the pool?" They knew we didn't. And say we had to leave or they were going to call the police. And of course, never wanted to get arrested for swimming. I always felt like we would get arrested. And I was scared of my mama. So I always felt like I'm going to go to jail for swimming. This ain't what I want to go to jail for. If I ever go to jail, I don't want it to be for swimming. So we would leave and go to a different apartment complex. But the thing about it is, I couldn't swim. I couldn't swim. I just walked around in the shallow end, 4 foot on my toes because I was just over 4 feet tall. So on my toes in the 4 feet, walking around, dunking myself because I wouldn't let nobody get me. It wasn't always just me and Michael, and they would play rough because some of them could swim. And my fear was always somebody gonna get their hands on me, they gonna throw me in the deep end, and then I'm gonna be dead. But I did it anyway. Like we would do this on a regular basis during the summer because it was hot. It was hot. And what do you want to do when it's hot? Well, we wanted to go swimming. None of our parents had a in-ground or above ground swimming pool. So that was what we did. We was past the age of getting sprayed. Anybody remember getting sprayed? When you little, like little, getting sprayed is fun. You get around, well, I know at the age of 10, excuse my language, but this is how I felt at 10. And I remember saying this to Michael Martin one day when I don't remember who it was. This is, y'all want to get sprayed? And I remember saying, getting sprayed ain't shit. That's how I felt. I was like 10. I was like 10. And by that time, getting sprayed wasn't shit. I didn't want to get sprayed. I wanted to go swimming, even though I didn't know how to swim. So that was what we did. We snuck. Yes, snuck. That's a word. We snuck and went swimming. And I was like a prime candidate to be one of those drowned kids. And I really wish I had ended up somewhere getting swimming lessons. All of that just to say, if you got kids or grandkids or anything like that, nieces, nephews, and they can't swim, encourage their parents to get them in some swim lessons or something like that. And if they don't, you figure it out. You figure it out. But there's no reason for Black kids to be 10 times more likely to drown, or hold on, let me make sure I'm saying it right. To drown 10 times more often. That's even worse, because that means it actually is happening. Black kids, a certain age group, drown. Not they're 10 times more likely to drown. They drown 10 times more often than white kids. That ain't white kids' fault. I'm not anti-white kid. Don't want them to drown. No, no. I want you and me to teach these kids how to swim. Everybody not gonna be lucky like me and go swimming all the time and make it out safely. And they can't swim. And then, of course, I had to teach myself how to swim. Nobody wants to go through that whole ordeal. But yeah, I really do think it's very important. And I'm going to bring it up periodically because I don't want to see our people drown 10 times more than anybody else. All right. So that's that. That's that. And if you've grown, because somebody, I feel bad because I took my nieces and nephews to get swimming lessons and my grown ass don't know how. Go learn how to swim. Swimming is not, and I know this is easy to say because I know how to swim, but swimming is not hard. It's not difficult. Not even a little bit. It's super easy. You just need to know how. You need to overcome any fear or whatever that you may have. Forget about your hair. Forget about your hair. Overcome whatever is stopping you. Find somebody, some organization, some whatever, who can teach you how to swim. Because the last thing, in my mind anyway, the last thing you want is to see a kid, your kid, or any kid in a swimming pool drowning, and there's nothing you can do but watch it happen. That's the last thing you want. Go learn how. Well, I just stay away from swimming pools. I just stay away from bodies of water. Go learn how to swim. Go learn how to swim. Oh, it would drive me. I wouldn't be no good. I wouldn't be no good. And y'all forgive the voice. I did not do a lot of talking yesterday after the show. I chilled out. I didn't do much talking. Mrs. Livingston was asking me questions. I was answering her thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know. Why are you asking me? You know what I'm saying? Just the normal, universally accepted kind of body gestures. So I didn't do much talking whatsoever. All right. GC says as soon as possible, I'm going to take swimming lessons. Hold on, real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you know how to swim, give me a thumbs up. If you don't know how to swim, give me a thumbs down. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How many of y'all know how to swim? It's right now like 56 people watching. 56 people watching. How many of y'all know how to swim? Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. Know how to swim. Know how to swim. Know how to swim. This is good. This is good. Where all the thumbs down? Because I know some of y'all can't swim. I might put together a class. GC says no. Myosha says no. Embarrassed and ashamed. Don't be embarrassed and ashamed. Well, be a little embarrassed, but not ashamed. Crystal, you can't know how to swim and not know how to swim. Either you can swim or you can't swim. Jeffrey, yes. Diane, no. Gloria, yes. Jason, stop whining like a little bitch. Francis says, what's the question? Do you know how to swim? Thumbs up, yes. Thumb down, no. Do you know how to swim? Thumbs up. Mary says she does. And Beth says her grandson can swim also. All right. Now, what does they mean? That's like you're saying a little pregnant. Right. GC says, glad you're talking about this. It's one of the goals of mine to learn within the next year. All right. Carolyn, no. Fran says no. If you do that, do a bike class with Raven help as an instructor. I think I know what you mean. Oh, Raven doing a bike class? That's hot. Carol says thumbs up. Great. Mayosha says this is my last summer where I'm not gonna know how. I'm learning this year for sure. All right, thumbs up. I'm just saying you can't be on here every time you're supposed to come. Well, I know my comment ain't gonna count, but yeah, come on, man. Linda says, no, but I know how to hold my breath. I guess that's important. I would do a who does not know how to hold their breath. But in my mind, Linda, everybody knows how to hold their breath. I don't know if that's an accomplishment. Oh, that's funny. And I don't believe that you meant it as funny. I believe that in your mind that's an accomplishment, but that's not an accomplishment. Can you hold your breath? Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you know how to hold? No, I'm just playing. Don't tell me if you know how to hold your breath. Okay, so we got a good number of people who know how to swim. I know how to hold my breath, so I'm halfway there. You are not halfway there. Okay. We maybe we can put something together. I mean, I know they have adult classes, things like that, but maybe we can put something together where the people who don't know how to swim can learn how to swim. Linda, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. We could put something together where the people who don't know how to swim can learn how to swim because it is important. It is important. You never know when you might find yourself near a body of water and, you know, need to swim. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. What's your name?
Crystal, this is Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hey, I do know how to swim and not swim.
Huh?
I said I do know how to swim and not swim
What does
because
what does that mean?
it means so I know how to swim. I know
Uh,
how to swim and I can get myself across.
hold
But
on,
after I
wait,
get to
wait.
the
You broke up
shore,
a little bit. You broke up just a little bit. You said you know how to swim.
I can get myself across. But after I get so far, like in the deep end, after a while, if my feet don't touch the surface, I start to
Okay,
panic. So that I'm really trying to get
okay,
fast.
Crystal, Crystal, Crystal. What are you
Mhm.
doing with your phone? Because you'll be clear for a second and then you'll not be clear. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably trying to pick up my iPad, but what I'm saying is, can you hear me?
Okay, I think you might just have a bad phone. What kind of phone you got?
I got an iPhone.
What model iPhone?
The XR.
Oh, I know not to get one of
It might
those.
be because no, it's a great phone. It may be because of where I'm at work.
Oh, that could do it. So you know how to
Yeah,
swim.
can you hear me now?
I
I
can
know
hear
how
you.
to swim,
Uh-huh.
and I can get myself across the pool. But
Okay.
then after a while, say like if I was in the deep end and my feet can't touch the surface,
Uh-huh.
I'll start to panic. Trying to get to the end. That's why I say I can and I can't.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. You just need more practice and definitely don't panic.
Right,
Panic is bad.
right,
So yeah, you just need more practice.
right. So that's why I stay in the water. Cause I'm like, nah.
Okay. All right. I understand now. I can and can't. You can, but not so well, and you're not comfortable, and so you panic. That makes sense.
Right.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Crystal says she can and she can't. Now, look, you can't tell me I know how to swim, but I don't go in the deep end, or I can't swim in the deep end. Then you can't swim. If you can only swim where you can walk, that ain't swimming. That's not swimming. She hasn't learned how to tread water. But yeah, if you can, it is important. Again, these black kids are dying, are drowning, not 10 times more likely, but they drown 10 times more often. And I don't want to see that happen. I want to see an end to that as a statistic. And of course, I can't travel the country. I can't travel the country teaching every black kid how to swim, but we can make it important enough to the people in our sphere of influence to where we don't experience that, and then maybe it spreads from there. But it is important for young kids to learn, but it's also important for y'all adults who don't know how to learn how. So I don't know what we're gonna do, but we gotta We'll figure something out. GC, Myosha, those are the ones I remember. Fran, Linda. Somebody say stop calling people out. Carolyn. If we put something together, excuse me, would y'all be willing to come and learn how to swim? If I put something together, would y'all be willing to come and learn how to swim? Because I know people have a lot of hangups and insecurities. And so, hello, Kathy. People have a lot of hangups and insecurities. They go, oh, I don't gonna show up because I ain't got no swimsuit that fit me right. I ain't gonna show up because my hair. Friend not gonna trust anyone to teach me. Nope, not gonna throw me in the pool. That is not how you teach. Well, that's how some people taught people how to swim, I guess. But that is not the way that anybody that I know would teach you how to swim. I would imagine that way you could catch a case. You throw somebody in there and they don't know how to swim and they drown. You just murdered somebody. I'm not into murdering people. I'm not into murdering people. Let's see. After the way you yelled at your kids when you were helping them with their homework, I'll pass. Uh, uh. So nobody would be willing to show up. Nobody. Let's see. You was there when I got thrown in and made many jokes about it. I don't ever remember you getting thrown in. I remember saving you from drowning once, but I don't ever remember you getting thrown into a pool. And I remember saving you from drowning in the 4 foot because you could have stood up, but you panicked. And so you was, and then all I really did was kind of pick you up so that you could get your feet and put them on the floor or the ground of the pool. Excuse me. Crystal says she would show up. I see how you do, little baby. I really have to think about it. How do you think I got in there? The time that I'm thinking about, which is the only time that I remember, you was on a float, one of them big round floats, and somebody jumped in and tipped the float over. And then you was, and then I was like, oh, and I came over and I had to pick you up. That's the only time that I remember. That's the only time that I remember. So Crystal right now is the only one. The only one. Somebody named Gary threw you in. Okay, yeah, I don't know nothing about that. But all right. So Crystal, here's what I want you to do. Since you're the only one willing to show up so far, send me an actual message on Facebook. Oh, Andrea says she would. I'm sorry, Andrea, I didn't see it. Send me a message on Facebook. Send me a message on Facebook. Oh, Benita says she will too. I'm sorry, I missed some of these concentrating on the people who wouldn't. Okay, so don't worry about sending me the message. It's a few people who said they will. And so I'm going to talk to some people and set up something to teach y'all how to swim. All right? I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Well, maybe I shouldn't use dead. I'm very serious about it, okay? But then when I set it up, don't leave my people hanging. Don't leave my people hanging. I'll be there to help teach. No, I don't think that the people who I'm thinking of setting up to teach people how to swim need help. I don't think that they need help. And why is it? And this might just, it seems like only women said that they can't swim. It seems like it's only the women who said that they can't swim. Now, be honest. Be honest. For any of the fellas listening, for any of the fellas listening, any of y'all can't swim? Any fellas watching and listening right now who can't swim? Y'all know I pause to give people an opportunity to answer. I'm just curious. Because if that's the case, why can't y'all, as the women who can't swim, why is there such a disparity between men and women? And I'm talking just on here. Why did you never learn? Why did you not learn? Was it that? Because I mean, that's the thing. Oh, my hair. Was it, oh, I don't like the way I look in a bathing suit, so I'm not going to the pool? Was it, what was it that kept you from learning? What was it? You know, Benita says, I know how to swim. I thought this was going to be an afternoon experience. I can swim. I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question. Oh, okay. Let's see. Most men in this age range got out more than our sisters did. Girls were kept a little closer to home. All right. Andrea says access / funding to lessons. So you just never went swimming? You weren't around the pool? Because that was my issue up until the 9th grade. The access that I had to pools was me sneaking in pools. But then once I had, like, for real access to a pool at Hawaiian Village, I was like, nope, I'm going to learn how to swim. No lessons, no nothing, but I'm going to learn how to swim. Maya says, I was always scared of the water. My uncle would take us to the beach as kids, and Lake Michigan looks huge as an adult, so it looked super huge as a kid. Okay, so yours was just straight up fear. All right. Hold on, I'm missing something. Patricia says, I can float, but never learned how to tread. So no deep end for me. I'm not sure what that means, I can float. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I can float. And I mean, but it takes a certain level of skill to float. And, you know, from my perspective, anytime I'm floating, I'm on my back. So just turn over and swim. If you can float, you should be able to swim. Let's see. Honestly, I tried twice to learn how to swim. Both swimming instructors, Hirschreck and Mount Arbor. Both ladies said it's no hope for me. Seriously, I panicked and I thought they would drop me under the water. I gave up. It's the fear. Okay. Okay. But if you don't panic, you can learn how to swim, and then there will be no reason to panic. Like, you control whether or not you panic, or at least you should be able to. You should be able to say, oh, this is panic to me. I'm really, really scared something bad is going to happen. Oh, I think something bad is going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Oh, I think something bad going to happen. Oh, I'm really scared. Something bad going to happen. Oh, no, get me out of here. Something bad going to happen. When you first start thinking, oh, I'm scared something bad going to happen, just say, but I'm not going to take that any further. Yeah, I'm afraid something bad going to happen, but I'm going through this anyway. Because again, if you learn how to swim, there's no reason to panic. So you panicking, which again, to a large degree, you have control over, you panicking is what stops you from learning how to swim so that you don't panic. So just don't panic. Hawaiian Village had a pool, 2 of them, as a matter of fact. One at the bottom of the hill, one at the top of the hill. I would go to a pool, but didn't learn how to swim. And why not? That's what I'm asking. Why didn't you? If you went to the pool, well, okay, because that's not a fair question. I think I may understand it. When I went swimming, they didn't offer lessons. So just because you go to the pool doesn't mean you're going to learn how to swim. I took it upon myself to teach myself how to swim. Brian says, floating and swimming are separate skills. But maybe they're closely related because I had already known how to swim when I learned how to float. So, yeah. Rand says floating, that means she can just lay there. And that's not good in almost any context. Don't just lay there. Swimming or nothing else. I can float on my back, but if I wanted to stand up, I would drown, I guess. Okay. I think today's instructors are more patient than those old school instructors that threw you in. I never believed in the whole throwing you in thing. Let's see. Oh, here comes your favorite caller. CK, you're on the afternoon experiment. I almost said the buzz. You're on the afternoon experiment.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. Great show, man. This topic you're talking about is hella important. Hella. You know what I mean?
All right.
You got to make sure because, like you said, I went to Hirsch. They just, like you said, threw me in the pool. This swimming is not something you have to be taught. This is natural. It's like trying to teach somebody about sex. You don't have to learn how to swim. You don't have to learn how to have sex or ride a bike. These things are naturally in your DNA.
I don't feel you. I don't believe that that's necessarily true. If that were true, people wouldn't fall off their bikes the first time. People wouldn't drown. If it just you naturally knew how to do it, that wouldn't happen.
But like you just said, they don't at Hearst. How did they do it? They threw us in there, and now you're talking about catching the case. That's why we're not learning how to swim, because they're not letting you. You got to throw, like you said. If you're just there by yourself, yeah, you might drown. But if you're there and they throw you in that pool, boom, it's natural. That's why when you give birth to the baby, boom, they start swimming, fresh out the vagina. Fresh out the vagina, they swim.
Oh my goodness!
Ain't nobody taught them nothing. How did they learn?
Then explain to me, why do people drown?
Oh yeah, okay. Like you said, that's not because they're keeping them from nature. You have to be led to the water, but I can't, you know what I mean, put it down your throat. You got to drink the water yourself. I could take you to the fishing, but you got to go fishing yourself. Now, this is where the fish at. Now, if you don't know how to fish, now come on, that's like you said. That's when you're dealing with mental incompatibles. You know what I mean? Like math. I can't be taught math. But natural things like riding a bike, swimming, that's all you got to do is go in it. Like if you've never been to the pool and you go swimming, then you could drown. But I'm saying if you go in there, like you said, just throw them in there, boom. What you think?
I think you're going to drown some people and you're going to catch a case because you just murdered somebody.
But I'm saying, so you said swimming is not a natural condition?
Maybe for some people, but not for everybody. No, it wasn't natural for me.
Explain how does a baby know how to swim as soon as you give birth and they just in that mud swimming, doing the backstroke?
I don't know.
How does it happen?
I don't know, CK. But if it's so natural, we wouldn't have all of these kids drowning.
I mean, do you believe statistics or do you think they are put in there to put fear in you? Do you know any kids that personally drown?
What?
Do you know any kids that personally drown?
I know hold on, let me. I don't know any kids that drown. I know of.
There you go.
I'm not even sure what that means. I know of some kids who have drowned. Yes. Kids actually drown, CK. That's not made up. It's not something that they tell you like an urban myth to scare you. People actually drown. It does
drowning happen. But it's just like somebody say, don't drink too much water. What you mean don't drink too much water? They said too much of anything can kill you. Yes, technically, yes. But really, you can't really drink too much water.
Well, you can. That's not true. You can drink too much water and it will kill you. But that's not what we're talking about.
But remember, like we said, you got to take people to do natural things. It's a reason why when you go to Hearst Community Center, they just throw a little kid in the water. Ain't no cases got caught. And then why wasn't nobody drowning when they was throwing them in the pool? You just said you're going to catch a case. Ain't no case been caught. Where's the case been caught? And you just said that's how they teach some kids how to swim. So why hasn't nobody caught the case?
I don't know. I don't know why ain't nobody caught a case. My guess is, this is just my guess, because if they throw you in and you can't swim and you start drowning, they go in and they save you.
And we do it all over again until your black ass learn how to swim.
Yeah, then
that's how you learn.
Then you gonna catch a case. Gonna catch a case. Because CK, how many people have you taught how to swim?
Not a name.
Okay.
Like you said, good. I throw them in there and they learn how to swim. Like you said, they don't. I can't take credit for nature. That's like teaching somebody how to walk.
All right.
When you learn how to walk, do you take credit for teaching them, or did they just learn how to walk by themselves?
I've taught people how to ride a bike.
There it is. Raven Simone. Remember you talked about that.
I wasn't actually even thinking about her. I was thinking about my kids.
You taught your kid how to ride a bike?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing because
what's amazing about that? That's not natural.
Just look at remember the training wheels. Eventually you get too old for training wheels and you just like it's fake.
But if it's fake. But if it's natural, CK, you would never need the training wheels or a tricycle. You would just be able to put that 3-year-old on a bike and they just start riding it.
But remember the legendary poet Aaliyah said, if you fall down, dust yourself off and try again.
Okay.
This is you learn from trial and error, Mr. Livingston. You don't just go in here and think you teaching people. It's about influence and saving lives. Okay. See, the main thing you got to remember, we saving lives, and these is, like you say, Black Lives Matter.
All right.
We don't need no more deaths.
So CK, just so I'm clear, what you're telling all of these people who don't believe that they can swim is that they can swim.
Yes.
So there you go.
Graduating college. It's just like Remember, you don't think you're dumb at first, but when you go to school, your teachers tell you you could be anything you want to be. You have to have faith. And once you have faith, boom, it naturally happens. You naturally become successful.
You're not dumb at first. You're ignorant.
When you first start, you're ignorant.
No, you're ignorant, right? You don't know. Not knowing anything is different than being dumb.
And when you're about to die in that water, you teaching yourself like it's naturally, okay, what I got to do, like that. And then, like you said, they might come in there and get you, or they might like to drown. Okay. But I think you should go in there and get them so they can just Aaliyah, dust yourself off and try, or in this case, dry yourself off and try again.
Or revive them once that they've drowned and then throw right back in.
Right, CPO, I can dig that. I can dig that. Listen, man, great show. I love that you're helping the community because, like you said, these black people, these young people will be the future, and we don't need them deceased. With deceased, you can't accomplish nothing. But alive, you could do anything. Just look at Emanuel Lewis. You know what I mean? Look at Gary Coleman. These guys, they was looked at as trash. Then they became billionaires. Because of, you know what I mean, faith.
All right, I don't know what you mean, but I'll accept that you meant something. I appreciate your call.
Gary Coleman, different strokes. What you talking about, Willis? Yes, sir.
All right, I got to go. So CK says, y'all can swim. You can swim. Myosha, you hear that? You can swim. Just go jump in. And then if you don't succeed, just dust yourself off and try again. Linda, you can swim. Just jump in. And then if you don't succeed, just dust yourself off and try again. I mean, if you don't succeed, you'd be dead. So how you dust yourself off and try again, I don't know. But okay. He says you know how to swim. So there you go. No. I look, there are some people who have, a knack. And I would imagine, kind of to his point, this is what I think he was trying to say to hopefully make it make sense. This is what I think he was trying to say. I've seen water births. I'm not sure if that's the correct term, but babies who are born and they're born underwater and they just start swimming. And he's saying, like, look, if you knew how to do it then, it's just natural. And so once a baby know how to swim, you need to encourage that, keep them near the water, keep them in the habit of doing what they already know how to do. I don't know why I'm doing this, but that's swimming. I don't know why that's swimming, but this is swimming. Just know. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. What we should be doing is from the time a child is born, keeping them used to doing what they already know how to do. So I think I understood that. I understood that. But if you ain't been swimming since, as you say, you came out the vagina, if you ain't been swimming and now you 10, you can't just jump in. Not necessarily. Maybe some people can. Apparently, some people can. That's something that people used to do. Just throw them in. But a whole lot of people can't. And again, if it was so natural, people wouldn't drown. Most people aren't just committing suicide by drowning. They're getting out there and finding themselves in a situation where they can't handle it. So that's it. Tasha. Tasha says to GC, she's at YMCA on Winton Road a lot. They have great instructors, and she can teach you as well. Inbox me if you want to give it a try. All right. So Tasha's offering to teach somebody. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. But no, I did. I taught myself how to swim. I saw Brian say he taught himself how to swim. And I don't know if I taught myself the right way. I just watched people. People were swimming like crazy. And I was like, why can't I swim? If they can do it, because I'm almost always of this mindset. If he can do it, and if she can do it, I can do it. I just need to figure out how. I almost live my life by that. And oh, he can fix that. If he can fix it, I can fix it. I just need to figure out how. Oh, he can build that. If he can build it, I can build it. I just need to figure out how. So if she can swim and he can swim, I can swim. Just need to figure out how. And I watched people, and I kind of just, in the baby pool, yes, the baby pool, like 2 feet of water. I watched them. Okay, they moving their hands. How are they holding their hands? So it's like they pushing the water to, okay, what are they doing with their legs? They just kicking them, but they ain't like, they kicking them from the hip. They ain't bending at the knee. Okay, I can do that. I wasn't confident, but I know if something go wrong, something go bad, I could stand up in the baby pool. There wasn't no babies in there. So I got in a little baby pool. And when I stood up, I had traveled a little bit of a distance. I was like, okay, hold on, let me try it again. Did it. I was like, okay, now I traveled the whole length. So, okay, let me go over there in 4 feet. I did it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, now what are they doing? Because they ain't always swimming underwater. And again, I watched them. I was like, okay, so now I can swim underwater. How do I swim on top of the water? And I watched them, and I was like, okay, they putting their hand in, and they do that, and they still got a cup in the water pushing it, but they still kicking their legs. I think I can do that. And I did that. And I was like, all right, I'm cool. I can swim. But I wasn't going in that deep end. Because, swimming is a heck of a workout. Like, if I get tired halfway through, I would die. So I watched the people down there treading water. It's like, okay, they're doing like a scissor kick with their legs, and they moving their arms. They constantly moving their arms like they pushing the water. Okay. And I got to an area where I could where my feet could touch the bottom. So if things went real bad, I could kind of stand up and then swim under the water. And I started doing it. I was like, okay, I'm keeping my head up. Wow, this is it. And from then on, I'm like, I know how to swim. Then, of course, I had signed up for swim classes at Aiken High School because we had that big swimming pool. I had signed up for swim classes for the 9th grade because that was the summer before the 9th grade. And so when I went to beginner swimming class, I think I was the only one in class who actually knew how to swim because I had just taught myself. And, I kept taking swim class till I got to advanced life saving. I got certified to be a lifeguard, all of that good stuff. All of that from watching people do it and me practicing in the baby pool. And then doing this, and then doing that, and then doing this. This ain't actually how you do it. Don't do this because you'll die. Don't do this. But that's my interpretation on dry land. I'm telling you all of that to let you know it's actually kind of easy. You got to get over your fear and kind of pay attention to details. Get over your fear. Pay attention to your details. And you can do it. You can do it. But you gotta get these kids just as important as you. Teach these kids how to swim. Because again, Black kids age 11 and 12 drown 10 times more often in pools than white kids. And I don't want to see that happen. All right. Let's see. I saw Shaba. What's his name? Shaba Zulu. Hold on, wait a minute. I saw something from the G. Says, I kind of agree. That's how we all learned. Might be the wrong method, but effective. GC says she loves CK. Emanuel in the baby pool, chop kicking little babies. wasn't no babies in there that day. Shaba says, I think most dark-skinned men don't know how to swim due to being embarrassed for being ashy. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. No. I don't know why I'm laughing, because that's just stupid. Samuel says, I love swimming. Fran says, not going to do it. Once someone throw you in and everybody laugh, it's a wrap. Fran, I'm going to take you to a swimming pool, and we're going to teach you how to swim. And you're going to learn how to swim in, like a lot of y'all don't remember this, but I remember telling Raven Monday, I can teach you how to ride a bike in like 5 minutes. And she was like, no, you can't. I'm, what was it, 27 or 28, and I don't know how to ride a bike. You don't know how many times I've been. And when we got out there, 5 minutes later, that young woman was riding a bike. Because it's just certain principles that once you get them for riding a bike, it's all about balance. That's it. It's all about balance. And for swimming, it's really all about moving water. That's it. It's all about moving water. And of course, holding your breath, depending on how you're swimming. You don't want to be underwater trying to breathe. That can be hazardous to your health. But I'm going to take you to a swimming pool. It's going to be you. It's going to be me. And you're going to learn how to swim. And then you're going to say, I can't believe it's that easy. Because, y'all, it is exceptionally easy. It is exceptionally easy. No, you are not. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We going to learn. Or you going to learn. Cam says, I can't swim. Really? Why not? Why did you never learn? And do you have children, and can they swim? I don't want to say I'm more concerned about the kids, even though I'm kind of more concerned about the kids. But why did you not learn how to swim? And do you have children, and can they swim? Can they swim? That's beautiful. I'm moved. It's encouraging. Proud of Raven. Okay, here's my method. And y'all can use this on kids, grandkids, whatever. Here's my method for teaching kids how to swim. How to ride a bike. You ready? You tell them, stand on one foot. Just lift that other foot off the air. Hold your hands out. And balance yourself. And pay attention to what you're doing to balance yourself. Now jump on that foot. And they jump up once and they put that other foot down. And you say, no, jump and keep that other foot up. And they jump. See what you're doing? See how you're shifting your weight so that you don't fall? Uh-huh. Now get on the bike. Just do that on the bike. Start the bike rolling. Remember, keep your balance. Keep your balance. Now pedal. Keep your balance. There you go. Believe it or not, it has always worked that easy because it's all about balance. All about balance. And swimming is all about moving water. Cup those hands and move that water. Move that water. Kick your legs. Don't bend at the knee. Don't bend at the knee. From the hip. Kick them legs from the hip. And move that water. That's it. That's it. So hopefully, you know, some of y'all go out. I am going to set up with somebody some lessons and we'll figure out a way that we can, you know, everybody that wants to sign up can sign. I don't know why I'm doing this. We'll figure out a way for everybody who wants to sign up can sign up. But I want everybody who wants to know how to swim, I want you to learn how to swim. How is Jimmy the vet? And have we heard from Jane? I have not heard from Jane. And I don't know how Jimmy the vet is. He does not call me. I've seen the new way people are teaching children to ride a bike is by removing the pedals. I'm not a fan. I've never seen that. Never seen that. Do you think if people have knee problems like Lincoln that they would have trouble swimming? No, because you really shouldn't do much bending of your knees when you're swimming. Maybe a little when you tread water. That's a little more knee intensive. But when you're swimming, you shouldn't do a whole lot of knee bending. So that really shouldn't matter. That really shouldn't matter. These adult LBs, not sure what that means, have me kicking extra hard now. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know what the LBs are. I was a member of Bush Center summer camp in Walnut Hills in '83 as a kid, and another kid pulled me under by the legs in a pool and almost drowned. Never went underwater since. Y'all can't let these childhood traumas get y'all. I was almost drowned at one point. Somebody did the same thing, pulled me under. But I wasn't like, well, since you pulled me under, I'm never gonna swim again. No, because you pulled me under, that means somebody else could pull me under. I need to know how to swim in case somebody else try to pull me under. Because trust me, I will drown you before I let you drown me. Not that I ever want to drown anyone. Everybody, people are saying LBs equal pounds. All right, so let's substitute pounds into the sentence. These adult pounds have me kicking extra hard now. Oh, he's saying he fat. Okay. Okay. I thought okay. Thank y'all. Look, I could teach you how to swim. That's all I'm saying. How many kids has CK thrown in the pool and giving God the glory that they survived? That is my problem. But I want my grandchildren to have a pool. Go get a pool and try what I said. Try what I said. And you will be swimming. I'm telling you, you'll be swimming. Just make sure you're in a spot where you can actually stand up. If you start panicking, stand up. If you get tired, stand up. Like, don't jump in the deep end. Like Emanuel said it, here I go, and jump in 12 feet of water. There's a chance you might not make it. Do it in water that you can stand up in. Now he says, I'm not fat. It just takes more work to swim now. And what adult pounds are you talking about? That sounds like fatness. That sounds like fatness to me. Thinking about taking lessons at the young age of 48 now. You're not too old. You are not too old. And then you can make up for lost time. Like now, I don't go swimming that much because I did so much swimming when I was younger. When I learned how to swim, I couldn't believe that I knew how to swim. And I went swimming all day, every day. Like I said, then I went and I took swim classes and then would go swimming all day, every day. I swam everywhere I could. If I found an indoor pool, I was there until they put me out. Now it's just like, okay, swimming, the water too cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason why I don't go swimming now. That water is just too cold. I need a heated swimming pool. That's what I need. You give me a heated swimming pool, I'm good. I'll go swimming with you. Jumping in that cold air, feel like they put ice cubes in it. I'm not swimming in that. It's too cold. Hold on. There was something else I wanted to discuss. Something else I wanted to discuss. Hold on, let me see. Oh, George Floyd. The trial of the officers who participated in the killing of George Floyd. Jury selection is supposed to start June 14th. But we just passed the 2-year anniversary. And apparently, in certain places in Minnesota, the 2-year anniversary got a lot of attention, which you would imagine it would. And because it got a lot of attention, now a couple of those officers, let me get the names. Alexander Kung and Tu Tao. They say, no, we got to move the trial. There's no way that we can get a fair trial in this environment. There's no way we can get a fair trial in this environment. Now, they've asked for to move the trial to get a different venue before. They've requested that the judges shut them down. And of course, the prosecutors are saying, look, ain't nothing changed from the last time they asked and you shut them down. So what? It was the 2-year anniversary. Well, how was that different than a 1-year anniversary or any other day? They like, look, this is getting a lot of attention. Documentaries have been produced. The newspapers are running these big stories about it. We can't get a fair trial. So the judge is saying, I'll take it under advisement and I'll rule expeditiously. I'll rule quickly, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. So we'll see what happens. But they plan, all the games that they can play. And look, I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them. Well, I mean, I'm mad at them for helping murder a dude. But I'm not mad at them. Once you're in this position, you got to try everything that you can try to get an advantage. Everything that you can try, you got to try. to get an advantage. And so if that means a last minute motion for change of venue, file a last minute motion for change of venue. Hopefully the judge says no, but even if the judge says yes, it is important where they move it. Where they move it becomes important. And you would think that it shouldn't be. Why would that be important? The facts are the facts, but we all know everybody don't look at the facts the same way. Everybody don't look at the facts the same way. So if you move it to an area that's very cop friendly, like there's certain areas of Butler County that if you move it to, you could have police record it saying, yep, it was fun murdering that dude. I sure wish we could murder somebody else. Body cam, all in just slapping, high fives, the whole nine. Killed his ass. You know what I'm saying? And there are certain places in Butler County today that they would be found not guilty. Heck, there are certain judges in Hamilton County that would find them not guilty. So it's kind of important. It's kind of important. But that's what's going on with that. But jury selection is scheduled to begin June 14th. June 14th. Flag Day. Don't ask me why I know that's Flag Day, but June 14th is Flag Day. I'm not even sure what Flag Day means, but I know that it is. Because my younger brother, he don't like it when I call him my little brother. My younger brother, that's his birthday. And I don't know how those two tie together in my mind, but they do. So that's Flag Day. And that's when they're supposed to start jury selection. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm not sure how this is going to go. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. That's all. That's all I can think of. That's all I had to discuss today. Oh, wait a minute. No. I did have one other thing to discuss that I did not get an opportunity to discuss. The leak from the Supreme Court, the Roe versus Wade, looks like they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade. Now, I didn't get a chance to I kind of gave my view on it. I'm not necessarily for them overturning Roe versus Wade, because like I said yesterday, if you didn't, hold on, I got to put this up on the screen. E-Man, what you doing for Gay Pride Month? Well, I hadn't intended on doing anything, but if you want me to throw you a celebration, just ask. Just ask. We'll celebrate your gayness, bro. I don't have a problem with you being gay and celebrating your gayness. You can get out and twirl and whatever else, you know. I don't have a problem with it. So you tell me what you want to do for Gay Pride Month, and we will celebrate the heck out of your gayness. Lewis says they need to overturn that crap. I don't look again. I'm not a fan of abortion. I don't want to go get too into the weeds, because some woman is going to irritate me by saying if I don't have a uterus, then I shouldn't have an opinion. But I believe abortion is murder. It's my belief. I'm not trying to get you to believe it. I believe abortion is murder. But believe because of it's that woman, it's in her body. She can make the decision to murder that baby or not murder that baby. And however she come to grips with that is how she come to grips with it. And if it is as I believe it, then she'll deal with the creator. And if not, then she won't. But it's her or their choice to make, because I don't completely rule out the father as should have a say. I believe the father should have a say. So I don't totally rule that out. But I do think we need some consistency. I believe there should be consistency. And everywhere there's not consistency. This is going to sound harsh. But it makes sense. So you're for abortion or you're not against abortion. Even though people say that, most of the times they're actually they're pro-abortion. But I don't really want to get into that. So you're not against abortion. You feel like that's not a life. It's a clump of cells. It's just some cells in there doing what cells do. All right? Okay. Cells doing what cells do. Up to a certain point. It's just cells doing what cells do. And some people even say it's a parasite. Okay. That's your feeling on it. And that's why, because you feel like it's not an actual life. It's just cells. So the decision to terminate, because they like to use words that are nice words, to terminate that pregnancy, not to murder that baby, but to terminate that pregnancy. That decision is not tantamount to murder. Okay. Okay, cool. Because it's not a life. At a certain, whatever the time is that you think it's okay to terminate the pregnancy, right? So let's say we're in that window where it's okay to terminate the pregnancy, right? Because it's not a life. It's just cells, a parasite even. So it's okay to terminate the pregnancy during this window. What if I walk up to you and kick you in the stomach to terminate the pregnancy? I'm wrong, but it's not a life. It's a parasite, actually. I was trying to help you. The daggone parasite. And it's not a life, remember? Now, should I be charged with what? Simple assault? Because I imagine if I walk up and kick Ras Freeman in the belly and just kick him in the stomach, I'm probably going to get charged with assault, right? So if I walk up and kick your pregnant self in the stomach, remember, it's not a life. It's just some cells. A parasite even. Shouldn't I just be charged with simple assault? But you know they charge people for murder for that. They add stuff on there for if you make a pregnant woman, especially intentionally, but even negligently, lose that baby. They add, some places they'll add murder. Other places they'll add other things. So now, for all y'all that say it's just cells, it's not a life. For those of you who say it's a parasite, why ain't you telling people that they shouldn't charge people with murder? Because it's not a life. They charge people for murder because those forces pushing that are pro-life. Then where are the pro-choice people rallying against that? Where are the pro-choice people rallying against that? Shouldn't y'all be out there saying, hey, wait. This is not a life. How are you charging this man or this person for murder when this is not a life? Y'all should be out there with signs. It's not. This is my protesting. Y'all knew what it was. That's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff is just universally understood. It's not a life. Don't charge him with murder. Y'all come up with something that rhymes. It's not a life. Don't charge him with murder. Simple assault. The country as a whole doesn't have a universally consistent stance on reproductive rights. So that's why you have variances. I agree. I agree. But the people who have a stance on it should have a consistent stance, right? Right? Like if you're pro-choice, you should be out there just as hard saying, hey, it's not a life. Let that man go. Sometimes it ain't a man, sometimes it's a woman. Let that woman go. It wasn't a life anyway. It was just a clump of cells, a parasite even. Just join the conversation. Are you speaking on the situation about the pregnant young lady who was shot by Oklahoma police? I believe it was over the weekend. I did see that, but I haven't quite read the details yet. But yeah, what I saw was they shot a pregnant one. They shot her 5 times. But I haven't read the details on that yet. So I didn't bring it up. And I don't I try not to talk about the police that much. The bad stuff that the police is doing. Because people get mad. People get mad when I do that. So I try not to talk about the police too much. Because it's some people who, they love the police. And they don't think that the police can do no wrong. They even get mad when I call them the police. That's so disrespectful. LaDonna says she hadn't heard about it. Yeah, and again, I haven't read it, gotten all the details. But the headline, as I read, was the police shot a pregnant black woman. I believe it was in Oklahoma. She was shot 5 times. Again, I didn't look at the details, so I can't tell you what led to it, if it were justified or anything like that. But I know that it happened. So yeah, no, but that wasn't what I was talking about. Did Lincoln teach you to churn butter? I'm not even sure what that means. Not sure what that means. Did she survive? I didn't see in the story that, or it didn't say in the headline that she was dead. So why am I speculating? I got the internet, and I don't know why I just did my head like that. Let's see. We got a new tab here. Pregnant black woman shot 5 times. Let's check out. The Daily Mail don't always make me pull stuff up. Let me see. Let's move me out the way. Come on, get over here. So we can see this together. Cops shot a 26-year-old black woman who claimed she was pregnant. Now they say she claimed she was pregnant as they searched for a vehicle involved in an armed carjacking. Police say they fired at Leona Hale 5 times after she told them there was a gun in the car, and as a man who was with her fled just before 8 p.m. Horrified witnesses claim the suspect had been trying to cooperate before she was gunned down and handcuffed on the ground as blood seeped through her white shirt. She was rushed to the hospital after suffering serious injuries. She was in stable condition. The man who was said to be her boyfriend was also taken in by medics on an unrelated medical issue. Cops said a gun was recovered from near the car, but it was not clear if the woman had been holding it. They launched a full investigation. Of course, the cops are on administrative leave. I guess that's a picture of her on the ground after being shot. Onlookers wailed as they repeated claims from the woman that she was pregnant, with one claiming she did not pull out a weapon on them. She told the Kansas City Star she did not pull out a weapon on them. She did not even have a stick in her hand. Shot 5 times. She said she had been getting gas and ice cream from a nearby service station when she saw the commotion and heard gunshots. That's the witness saying that. Authorities said cops in 2 cars were following up on a call about an armed carjacking after dispatchers provided them with a description of the vehicle and the license plate. Officers spotted a car with 2 suspects inside in the parking lot of the Family Dollar store at 6th and Prospect. But the male driver fled northeast as officers pursued, and Hale stepped out of the car and told the officers there was a gun inside. 2 officers then fired at Hale, and she suffered serious injuries. So, all right. So that's all of the story that I have read. You guys saw it just as I saw it. Of course, I did not watch the video. Y'all just saw that. I didn't play a video of the incident. Phyllis says, never justified. My heart is saddened. Your wife was listening and she wanted to know, was I going to talk about swimming the entire time? Excuse me. She exited a vehicle with her hands up and was shot 5 times. She did live, but not sure about her child. I don't know if the baby survived. They're suggesting that particular story. They're suggesting that she may not even be pregnant. As you saw in the story, as it began, the wording on these stories and stuff is important. Cops have shot a 26-year-old black woman who claimed she was pregnant. That wording is intentional. Now, I don't know if she's pregnant or if she's not, but that wording is what causes you to doubt. And it's definitely intentional. It's definitely intentional. All for a man. Who said it was all for a man. Phyllis, we don't tolerate no man hating around here just for the sake of it. So where are you getting that this was all for a man? Where are you getting that this was all for a man? I read the story. Nowhere in there did it say a man forced her to carjack somebody. He ran. He ran. She got out of the car, apparently, with her hands up, according to the witness. She got out of the car and said it's a gun in the car, and they blasted on her. Wyatt wants to know what's the headline of the story. The headline of that story was pregnant black woman, 26, is shot 5 times by Kansas City police while running from officers. Witness says cops were responding. Let me put it on there because it's a long headline. And y'all gonna think I'm making it up. Like, that ain't the headline, Emanuel. That's the whole headline. Pregnant woman, 26, is shot 5 times by Kansas City police while running from officers. Witness says cops were responding to reports of an armed carjacking at the time. That's the headline. And the headline is fine, but then the first line of the actual story. Cops shot a 26-year-old black woman who claimed she was pregnant as they searched for a vehicle involved in an armed carjacking. So the headline says she's pregnant, but then the body of the story says, well, she claims she's pregnant. She claims she's pregnant. Let's see. So were they sure she was actually pregnant before posting the story? Well, I'm not sure whether they were sure or not. But here's one thing that I talked to a few reporters. And one of the things that some of my reporter friends have told me is that they write the story, but they're not necessarily the ones who come up with the headline. They're not the ones who come up with the headline. So it seems like it's possible. They're not necessarily. I imagine sometimes they do, but not necessarily. So it's possible that the person who wrote the story was like, yeah, she claims she's pregnant. That's how I'm taking it. She claims she's pregnant. That's what she claims she's pregnant. But the people who wrote the headline is like, yeah, it's a much better headline. It grabs attention if we just say she was pregnant. So the headline people, they want your attention. You know, clickbait, all of that kind of stuff. Read this story. Pregnant woman shot 5 times. Facts don't matter. It's just read the story. But the person who wrote the article, they like, yeah, she claimed she was pregnant, but we don't really know, because that's what that first line says to me. That's what that first line says. Love you, brothers, Emanuel. Always. You can interpret it any way you like. That's one thought. Many assumptions to think about. Just saying. Still stand by my opinion. I was asking you about your opinion. That's what when you see, you doing what a lot of people do that frustrate me. You say something. And okay, I'm not challenging. I'm not saying you don't have a right, but I'm asking for clarity. You say, what'd you say? Something like she was standing up for her man or something like that. I'm going to see if I can get back to it. All for a man. So you said it was all for a man. My question, and again, I'm going to hold a seminar. There's a difference between me making a statement and me asking a question. So the question that I asked is, what led you to believe that it was all for a man? That's a question. So that means, you could answer and say, well, these are the details that I heard that made me believe it was all for a man. I'm not saying that that's what you said. I mean, that whatever. I'm just asking the question, what made you feel that way? Why it says exactly, facts don't matter. I don't think facts matter in a headline. The headline is to grab you. Facts are supposed to matter in the story, though. Facts are supposed to matter in the story. But journalism is dead. For the most part, journalism is dead. Reporters I don't see many stories where reporters are actually reporting the facts and only concerned about reporting the facts. And that's what I've always thought journalism was supposed to be. Here are the facts. And you draw whatever conclusion you want to draw from that. If that makes you sad, then you're sad. But a journalist ain't going to tell you, oh, that's sad. Because that's not a fact. That's your feeling. A journalist ain't going to tell you, oh, that's a feel-good story. Because that's not a fact. That's your opinion. A real journalist, which again, I think is a dying, if not extinct breed. They're just going to present the facts as the facts are. And they're not necessarily going to draw conclusions. They leave that for you. Like Fox News used to say, but never did, we report, you decide. That's actually what's supposed to happen. Woman, 28 or 26 or whatever, pregnant, shot 5 times. Here are all the facts that we know. That's that. And then you're supposed to look at it, and that's that. And then you look and you're like, oh, that's a sad story. Oh, that story makes me feel good. Or, oh, the police is crooked. Oh, the police were wrong. No, the police was justified. But they're not supposed to skew the story one way or the other. And that happens way too much. Emanuel, still like you and love the show. My opinion is my opinion. We all have one. I don't know what yours is. So, all right. But anyway, but all of this, getting back to the Supreme Court leak. And apparently the Chief Justice, John Roberts, he's now ordering an investigation about the leak. He's now ordering an investigation. And I'm just curious. Because when everything first came out, the pro-life people were concerned about the leak. And the pro-choice people were concerned about what was in the leak. Should we all be concerned a little bit about the leak? Should we? I think in the initial aftermath, the discussion really should have been what it was. How overturning Roe versus Wade can affect people in society, in particular, pregnant women. But eventually, you do got to kind of talk about the leak. And I mean, I'm debating. If I had some juicy information and And I guess what, I clerk for somebody at the Supreme Court, and somehow this draft gets passed around and I'm really pro-choice. Do I leak this to maybe sway people's opinions? Because that's in my mind, that's the only reason to leak it. You leak it because there's a chance that the public outcry might sway somebody. I mean, I could be off on that. I never clerked for no Supreme Court justice, so, you know. And shouldn't the person who leaked it suffer some sort of consequences, even though a lot of us are glad? Is that, look, I'm glad for leaks. I'm glad for leaks. I don't have a problem with, look, if you know some dirt about the police, leak it, because we need to know. Is you wrong for leaking it? Well, from the police standpoint, probably. From an ethical standpoint, probably. But for the people, probably not. B-Rap says, we don't have a gun issue in America. We have an issue with white supremacy and holding white supremacy and others. Maybe you meant accountable. I'm going to assume you meant accountable. Accountable for their actions towards Black people. Well, we definitely have a problem with holding people accountable for their actions towards Black people. But a lot of Black people have that problem. What? Yeah. A lot of Black people get mad at Black people when they talk about holding people accountable for their actions towards Black people, because this country has done a number on Black people. This country has done a number on Black people. Like, I have conversations with Black people, old and young, and sometimes it just blow my mind, and I'll be like, where is your Black consciousness? Like, and you claim that I care about Black people and I care about this, and Black people are important. I'm Black, so of course it's important to me. But everything you got to say about Black people and holding people accountable for the things that they do to Black people and that negatively impact Black people, you're against. Black. And I'm not going back to it. Again, this is all stuff that happened when I couldn't talk. So I was feverishly typing on my phone on Facebook, fussing at people. But the Juneteenth ice cream thing. I couldn't understand the Black people who couldn't understand the Black people who were offended. Like, wait a minute. You mad at Black people for being mad about something that they should be mad about. So Black people just always look for something to be mad about. No, it's a whole lot of stuff that go on that Black people should be mad about. And actually, we don't get mad enough at nearly enough stuff. So much stuff just slide by. And because it just slide by, I guess we think it's all right. Because if we spent the time being mad about everything that we should be mad about, we wouldn't have time to ever be happy. So yeah, we let some stuff go that we probably should not let go. But then and my problem is with the Black people who get mad at Black people for standing up for Black people. I mean, I'm mad at the white people who make us have to stand up for ourselves because they do bad stuff. Explain why people should be mad about ice cream. Well, number one, Walmart and their brand shouldn't be trying to trademark Juneteenth. That's number one. It's horribly offensive. They would never try to trademark Holocaust. You know why? Because them daggone Jewish people would be mad as hell. It would be wrong. And can you imagine? Just imagine. You mind your own business, and then you see a commercial about Holocaust flavored ice cream or ice cream in celebration of the Holocaust. Holocaust ice cream by Walmart. You think that would ever happen? Honestly, does anybody think Walmart or any other major company would ever come out with a Holocaust flavored ice cream? Now, because you know it wouldn't, begin to think, why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? Or what the heck, a Holocaust flavored seasoning for your meat, a Holocaust flavored whatever. Would that ever happen? No, no. Why? Why wouldn't that happen? It's a certain level of fear from the response of the Jewish community and a certain level of respect for the Jewish community. They understand what that's supposed to mean and what it means to the Jewish community. And they just not going to disrespect them like that. It's a respect thing. So then, what causes you to create a Juneteenth ice cream? What causes you to create a Juneteenth ice cream? If you won't do a Holocaust ice cream, why would you do a Juneteenth ice cream? Because you don't respect those people. You don't respect what they ancestors went through, the pain, the years of suffering. You don't respect it. That's why you would do it. Just get money from them. No, but we getting money from them off the backs of suffering. So, are there celebrations for either Juneteenth or Holocaust? Yes, both. Yes. People commemorate both. But they wouldn't do it for one. But they did it for the other. And that's why I think people had a right to be mad. Juneteenth is a celebration from my understanding. Holocaust was a disaster. What is Juneteenth a celebration of? What's the tragedy behind Juneteenth? There was one. What's the tragedy behind Juneteenth? Commemorate? Are they commemorated in the same way? Of course not. We're different people with different cultures. We're different people with different cultures. Just like we don't celebrate our birthdays the same way. Different cultures do things, commemorate things in a different way. Walmart knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And again, I find it interesting. Like, what difference do it make? Like, if it's okay to look at slavery and the end of slavery and say, hey, here's some ice cream to celebrate the end of slavery. Why not some ice cream to celebrate the end of the Holocaust? Why not? Because they wouldn't do it. There's no way in the world they would do it. But we got excuses why it's okay to do that stuff to us. Everybody got an excuse why it's okay to be disrespected as Black people, and why. Here's why they disrespect us and why they won't disrespect them. Like, that make it okay. They went through a horrible period. Short, but bad. We went through a horrible period. Long and bad. So it's okay to kind of mock ours, but respect theirs. Y'all, these people know what they're doing when they do this stuff. I don't have an excuse. I'm just trying to figure out the anger. I thought I explained it pretty good. Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe that Walmart would release a Holocaust flavored rub for your ribs? It could be kind of smoky, you know, a little hint of. Do you think they would ever even consider doing that? That's a legit question for anybody to answer. Do you think Walmart or Target or any of these companies would release a Holocaust flavored rub for your meat, for the grill? Okay, so for their chicken, she says probably not. Jewish don't eat pork. I don't know that to be true, but all right. Do they eat chicken? Because you can put a rub on a chicken too. So do you think they would ever even consider a Holocaust flavored rub for your chicken? Anybody can. LaDonna says no. No. Tria says no. Wyatt, holiday or not, do you believe? It's a simple question. You can say no or you can say yes. Wyatt, do you believe Walmart, Target, any of these other companies would release, market a Holocaust flavored rub for chicken? It'd have a little smoky flavor to it, or maybe even a marinade, so that your chicken tastes a little smoky. You think that that would happen? Wyatt? Bonita says H no. Fran says it probably wouldn't sell, so probably not. Tim, answer my question, please. Do you believe Walmart or any other company would put out and market a Holocaust flavored rub for your meat? See, this is stuff I'll be talking about. It's a simple question. You can say no. You can say yes. You think if you answer the question, then what? It disproves your point or anything? And Tanisha says, nope. And keep in mind, they celebrate it. What is the day that they celebrate? I got to look it up. Friday, January 27th, International Holocaust Remembrance Day. International Holocaust Remembrance Day. So do you think that any company would release? Timothy says entirely different situation. Answer the question, Timothy. Do you think they would? Answer the question. Wyatt says no, they wouldn't. Jeannie says, of course not. Answer the question, Timothy. Do you think they would? Everything that's not the exact same is two different situations. Mine is a simple question. Mine is a simple question. Do you think they would market such a thing? The fact that you can't say no, Timothy, says to me that you have a problem. That says to me that you have a problem. You're not being reasonable, because clearly they wouldn't. And the reason that they wouldn't, it's not because it's a solemn day. It's because it would be disrespectful. It would be disrespectful to the horror that happened. That's why they wouldn't. They respect him for a number of reasons, but they don't share that same respect for us. Would you feel better if Walmart allowed a black company to produce this product and shelf in their store? Maybe. Maybe. Because then I would at least feel like maybe this person wasn't doing it as a show of disrespect. Timothy says it depends on how you view Black independence. They market 4th of July. America was never slaves for hundreds of years. So you want to talk about a different situation. You don't think that the 4th of July is really different than Juneteenth? You think those are the exact same? Yeah, I knew you had a problem. I knew you had a problem. How does Walmart know freedom tastes like red velvet cake? Look, I understand the concept of the red velvet cake. Apparently, there's a tradition for Juneteenth, and red is a thing. Red is a thing. So eat red cake, drink red pop, chew red gum. I understand that. I understand that. But just Walmart shouldn't have did it. If you're not going to do it for other cultures, don't do it to our culture. And Walmart and Target both sell Black History Month items in February that are not Black owned, t-shirts, etc. You would agree that Black History Month is not about slavery, right? Or maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you think Black History Month is created to commemorate and celebrate freedom from slavery. Is that what you think? Because I never thought that. I mean, look, I'm saying, look, y'all can come up with all the excuses why it was okay. But like I said, the Jewish community, if it was done to them, I don't imagine a lot of Jewish people running around talking about, well, what if a Jewish person did it? Well, I mean, the 4th of July, they do stuff for that. Well, what about Black History Month? They do stuff for that. I would imagine the Jewish community as a whole would reject it and make Walmart pay in some way, shape, or form. And even the Jewish people who's like, I don't care about that. It don't bother me none. Wouldn't be mad at the Jewish people who felt like it was disrespectful. They would just disagree with them, probably silently, and let them have that fight. But Black people go out of their way. Some Black people go out of their way to bash Black people who try to stand up for Black people, whether you agree with it or not. Whether you agree with it or not. Oh, that's just, it ain't that big of a deal to me. Then shut the up and let it not be a big deal to you. But the people that it's a big deal to, don't jump on the side of the people who trying to disrespect you, to bash the people who trying to look out for you. Whether you agree it's that big of a deal or not. But I'm telling you, there were people all over social media bashing Black people because they didn't like it. Trying to put them down and insult them and all that kind of stuff. Friend, they wasn't just trying to understand why people didn't like it. They was bashing them. And that made me angry. Because if you don't agree with them, like I said, just shut up. Don't agree with them. Shut the F up and let them have that fight because they fighting for you. You was not going to have Jewish people out publicly bashing Jewish people. When we see when Jewish people have these fights, and sometimes I'll be like, ain't no big deal. Them Jewish people just, they going off a little bit now. But you don't see no other Jewish people saying that. The other Jewish people who don't agree with them, they just shut up and sit in the background. Wyatt, you thought wrong. We were not just talking about the exploitation of Black folks. We weren't, because we're exploited all the time. We're exploited. Like I said, if we was really mad about everything that we should be mad about, we would never be happy. Black people are exploited all the time. We're talking about the lack of respect that this particular company in this instance took something that had a long history of tragedy and hurt and pain, and that we still suffer the effects from. And they took that, number one, tried to trademark it, and then slapped it on some ice cream. I'm talking about respect. something that they would never do to another group. Well, they might would do it to Hispanics. They might would do it to Hispanics, but they definitely wouldn't do it to Jewish people. And I'm not saying they should. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. And they shouldn't do it to black people either. Look, if a Jewish-owned company comes out with a Holocaust-flavored rub for your barbecue, let the Jewish people handle that. Jewish people, they'll either be down with it or they won't. But Walmart won't do it. Walmart won't do it. So yeah, make a difference. Who do it? What's the difference between slapping it on ice cream or a t-shirt? All the same to me. If Walmart, which I don't know, are they selling Juneteenth t-shirts? I have a problem with it. I have a problem with it. And if you don't have a problem with it, cool. You don't have a problem with it. But my issue wasn't that black people don't have a problem with it. My issue was that some of the black people who didn't have a problem with it had a problem with the black people who had a problem with it. And understand that is a distinction. That is a distinction. If you don't have a problem with it, I'm sure there are things that happen. And when I say I'm sure, I mean I'm 100% sure that there are things that happen in society that me as a black man, I should look at and be offended by because it was meant to be offensive. And if I really thought deep about it, I would understand that it's meant to be offensive. But it probably just goes over my head. I don't even recognize it. But if I see somebody out there fighting for it, I'm not going to bash them. I'm going to be like, I don't really see the problem. It don't bother me, but it bothered that brother. So that brother got a right to be upset about it. I ain't going to be names and treated bad and dogged out and I'm not going to try to make him feel like him being upset about the issue means that he's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Those are the people who I had a bigger problem with. Believe it or not, I had probably a bigger problem with them than with Walmart. Because the people, by the time I really got wind of it, Walmart pulled the items off the shelf and apologized. By the time I got wind of it, Walmart had pulled the items off the shelf and issued an apology. And there were some black people who were still bashing the black people who made Walmart realize that they shouldn't have done what they had acknowledged that they shouldn't have done. And now they mad at Walmart for pulling it off the shelves and apologizing to black people because they realized how disrespectful it was. So these black people were mad at black people and mad at Walmart for recognizing that they did wrong. This country has done a number on us. I'm saying all of us. I believe we're all still suffering to some degree from the effects of slavery. Timothy says some black people hate black and everything associated with black. You kind of sound like you beginning to sound like one of those people. Not you, E-Man, but a lot for that cause. And Judaism is a practiced religion and not a people. And But yeah, no, that was it. If I don't agree with you, I don't agree with you. There are every once in a while Ben Crump comes up with some stuff, and I'm like, I don't agree with Ben Crump on that one, but I kind of shut up because he got a point. I might not think it's as deep, but it's a point. So I'm not gonna bash the brother for trying to, you know, Al Sharpton. And look, you can feel how you want to feel about Sharpton and Crump and all of those people, but I'm just one of these people that if I believe you legit fighting for my people, whether I agree this is a really important cause or this is not a really important cause, I try to keep in mind that I am under the influence of this country. I was born here. I was raised here. I was inundated with all of the images and thoughts and all of that kind of stuff. All of that stuff affects the way that I view because I'm viewing it through the prism of the education that I received, of my experiences, of the things that I've heard and the things that I've seen. So I'm viewing everything through that prism. And your prism may be a little different. So I'm not going to bash you because through your prism, this is really disrespectful. I'm like, I don't think it's all that disrespectful. You a horrible black person. You are always looking for something to complain about. Why don't you just sit your ass down and just eat the damn ice cream, anime? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to be that person. I might even say it out loud. Like, to me, this ain't that big of a deal. But I'm probably going to follow it up with, but if it bothers them to this point, have that fight. And I wish a lot of us could do that more than just bashing the people who are trying to fight. Y'all know I get it. When I bring up stuff about the police and how the police, it's always somebody, some people talking about you just look for something to complain about. The police ain't that bad. Who you gonna call if something happened to you? You need to just let that go. Because, to them, it ain't that big of a deal. But just leave me alone. Let me have this fight. I'm having this fight for you. Even if you don't think it's that big of a deal. I do. So let me fight for you. And you just shut up. You can disagree with me over here. I don't think it's that big of a deal. But then to come out and attack me, it's different. Shut up and let me fight for you. And then maybe one day, you'll, that prism that you're viewing things through. And sadly, the way that it happens is when the police beat you down and you ain't did nothing wrong, shoot you 5 times and with your hands up, then you'll be like, oh, the police was wrong. But because of the way we've been conditioned in America, you still won't view it as a huge, you probably still compartmentalize it. Like, well, maybe I did something to cause the police to do it. If I would have just been nicer, like if my tone would have been better, maybe if I wouldn't have been nervous, he wouldn't have shot me 5 times. You'll find a way to blame you instead of blaming the people who did you wrong. Because that happens a lot. We've been conditioned and it bothers me. It bothers me. All right, y'all. My time is up. I got to get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Hopefully, I didn't offend nobody too much. Hopefully. I mean, if I did, I did. Ain't nothing I can do about it. But I hope I didn't. That's never my goal. That's never my goal. But that's it. I have nothing else for you. Well, I actually do, but I gotta go. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. And I hope that something amazing happens today in your life. Until next time, it's been an afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.